Hello, hello. It's Sunday, which means it's time for our weekly focus tip. I hope that you have been following along these last few weeks and getting some tips on focus, right? That's the point of our little get togethers each week. So last week, we started what I call a little bit of a series, I guess, and talking about how we can move M.O.V.E toward your biggest goals. And we're going to walk through each one of those things that you need to do to M.O.V.E toward your biggest goals. Last week, we talked about mindset, the first step. The first thing you need to do is make up your mind, make a decision. Are you going to move? So, tonight, we are going to look at the next step. What happens after you make that decision to, move? I want to make progress toward my goal. So I've decided I want to move. What's next? So if the first part of our move toward progress is mindset, then the next step is O, and it's options. What are your options? So you've taken the first step and made up your mind to make a move toward your goal. Now the next thing is, what are my options? I can whine and say, now's not the right time. I'm not in the right place, space, season. I'm not young enough. I'm not educated enough. I'm not whatever it is. So that's an option. You can whine and wallow in what's wrong, or you can decide and make up your mind to win. And we have this sense of, winning means that it's making other people lose. And that's not necessarily true, because what you define as winning and someone else defines as winning may not be the same thing. And there's plenty of room for all of us to be winners. And I've said this for weeks. And if you follow me, then you know that I believe that each and every one of us has been gifted in a unique way for a specific purpose. You were designed the way that you were designed on purpose for a purpose. So yes, it's wide open for you to win in your lane and in your space. So as this week rolls out and you look at making moves toward your biggest goal, last week was about mindset. You got to make up your mind. And it's not a one and done thing. You have to continually decide and remind yourself why this goal is important and what it means. And then now we can move to that next step is, what are my options? So whine about it. I'm not this. I'm not ready. I'm not that. Wallow. Boo-hoo. I can't. Or win. Right? And you're not going to win unless, I don't know how to word this, unless you want the change more than you're afraid. Does that make sense? I mean, so many of us give fear way more credit than it deserves. We constantly trip over what if. Well, what if this happens? What if that happens? Oh, what if? What if you sat down and made a list of all the worst case scenarios and things that could happen and have a plan? Well, if this happens, I can do this. And change that what if to even if this happens, I'm still going to move forward. Options. You can stay where you are and wonder, what if? What if I made a move? What if I decided to move forward, to take the next step? And that's why I wanted to take this and break it a little bit at a time. First is mindset, make up your mind. Next is options. What are your options? Make a decision, decide, make that list. What if this happens? And change it to your even if this happens, I'm still going to figure out how to move forward. See what happens when we make decisions ahead of time? Too many options can be distracting. The more decisions that you make ahead of time, the faster you create momentum for yourself. Ladies, think about it. How long do you spend in the morning thinking about what you're going to wear? You get out of the shower, you go into your closet, and you start looking, what am I going to wear today? What am I going to wear today? And how much time do we waste? Because then we try on things, and then we decide, I'm not going to wear that. No, I'm not going to. How much time would you save if you made the decision the night before to go in your closet, even try on things even if you don't feel like it, try it on, take a look, because odds are it's not going to make much difference in the morning. You're still going to feel the same way about that outfit in the morning. How much time would you save? What could you do with that time saved in the morning? The more decisions that you make ahead of time, the less distracted you'll be in the moment, because you've already made up your mind. You've already made up your mind that you're going to move forward to your goals. You've already made up your mind that you're going to take the option that I'm going to win. It's not a what if, it's an even if. So options. This week, I want you to think about your big goal, what it is that you are working towards and what you want to achieve, and what are your options? How many can you think through ahead of time? How many decisions can you sit down and make up your mind ahead of time? It's huge. Not only does this give you momentum and move things forward, but there's a sense of confidence about it. You know what? I don't know if this is going to work, but I made the decision. I'm going to try it. You know what? Someone said I should check out this website, dinafarrell.com. I'm going to check it out. I'm going to read a few blog posts. Maybe I'll learn something. That's another thing. We are information hoarders. We gather and gather and gather and gather and gather. We have an idea and we think like, oh, wow, that's a good idea. And then we continue. Gather, 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 gather. Learn, 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 learn. Okay, but then what? Then we're overwhelmed. Then we're not sure what to do next. We're distracted because there's so many different options and things to choose from. Make a decision. If you read an article and there's something good in there, pull out the nugget and commit to where you're going to plug it in. Where are you going to use it? Is it this week? Is it this month? Put it in a place. If not, move on. Same thing with the emails. I mean, good grief. We get so many emails. We sign up for things so often. Maybe it's a coupon, or maybe it's, some freebie that we saw online and we clicked, and gave our email address, and now they're in our inbox. And if it served you at that time, awesome. You got what you needed, use it, move forward. Unsubscribe. That's something that, for me personally, I do on a regular basis because I am and can be an information hoarder. And the more that I have, the more confused I get, and the more, oh, maybe I should do this. But once I choose a path that I know that I'm going to pursue, I get real narrow on what's allowed in until I'm looking for a different option. And when you go looking for a different option is when you start feeling, I don't like to use the word stuck, and I've written about this before in my blog. You can check it out. I think the title of it is The Sticky Truth About Feeling Stuck. But when you start feeling like things aren't working, you've tried it, you've applied it, and it's just not, you need something a little bit more. That's when you go and look for a specific option. See, the more clear you are in the direction that you're going and what you want, then you kind of already know what option, I guess, you're looking for. But again, you have to be careful. You can't be, collecting information and then not doing anything with it and saying, hey, I'm going to go back to that. Hey, I'm going to go back to that. You need to get honest with yourself. You know if you're going back to it or not. I have folders in my email. Every single day, I zero out my email. I go through. If there's a new email in there, there's a place that it will go. And it's either going in a specific folder that I know that I'm going to go back and look. I read it in the moment, take what I need from it. That's good information. I put it in my planner or my journal or a place that I know that I go back for ideas, and delete it. If I am no longer being served on an email list that I've been on for a while and I got what I needed from it, unsubscribe. And then on a regular basis, I would say every couple months, I go through those folders. I open up those folders of the emails that I went and saved, and I go through them again. Get rid of, delete, unsubscribe. So when I go into my email, I'm not overwhelmed. I'm not stressed. I know exactly where everything is in there, and I can go back and find things if I need to. And I know that I save things for reasons. So that may not be for everybody. You might be somebody that has 12,000 emails and that doesn't stress you out. Cool. But it's just another area where I feel that I can have control and stay focused on what it is that I'm supposed to stay focused on. I hope this helps. In next week, I will bring you step 3 in our little MOVE process. Remember, we're going through M.O.V.E. as it relates to making progress toward our goals. So last week was step 1, week 1, and that was mindset. The M was for mindset. And you can go back and watch that. I would love for you to do that, share that with others if you feel like that would resonate. And this week, second step, options. Know your options. And, make your list. Make your list of options. If you're fearful, go ahead, dump it out there. Make it that what if list. So what? What if this happens? Look at it on paper. It's not that scary, and determine to change that from what if to even if this happens. See, we're not going to move if what we want isn't bigger than the fear. Most of us will begin and start making progress because we're so sick and tired of where we are. That's what moves us. Typically, there are only Well, two things that make you move is well, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. Stay tuned. But yeah, it's really important. You know, look at your options this week and be realistic. What needs to go? What's not serving you? And odds are, if you had it before and you delete the email or you unsubscribe, you can always resubscribe or go look it up. I'm guilty of hoarding information as well, but I do have a separate email so that it doesn't cloud up my primary mail email. Yes, that's another good trick too. I love that. I actually have, most of us have multiple emails. We have the junk email that when we sign up for promotions or something like that, we give them that email. And then we have like our real email that we use. But yeah, that's another good tip too. But even still, that can get out of control as well. But I love that. That's your primary email and then another email, a separate one. So that is your focus tip for this week, is look at your options and really get past the fears. You know, make a decision. Decisions prevent you from distractions. Distractions are the things that are slowing you down in your momentum and, you know, moving forward. So look at your options, be realistic, and make a decision. Right? First, mindset. Make up your mind. Second, what are your options? Are you gonna whine? Are you gonna wallow? Or are you gonna win? Which option will you choose this week? Thanks so much for tuning in. I will be back on Wednesday with a weekly check-in to see how you're doing. We'll be here live on Wednesdays around noon to see how your week is progressing and any other tips that I have for you that relate to our focus this week option. I just want to make sure that you have, you know, a cheerleader in your corner, that you can do this. You can absolutely do this, and you are meant to do this. You know, it's something I say all the time. Your dream is not dead. It's not. It's just waiting for you to breathe some life into it. And don't forget, weekly giveaway will be posted tomorrow. Congratulations to our winner last week. And I will see you over on the page. Thanks for joining me. Have a good evening and a rest of the week, and stay focused.